well promoted in every single countries. All students know what is the country France, how really is popular destination to study there, to go there to learn French. And of course, first of all, the visa rate is so high. One of the best business schools of the world, located exactly in France. Multicultural country, well-promoted country. I think France is really perfect destination to go there, to stay there, to work there, and develop yourself and get bachelor, master, MBA degree. And today we talk about all of this nice thing. Hello, Vikash. I already see that you added as a speaker. I hope you see me and you hear me properly. There you will find actually, yes. Okay, you're here.
Hello.
Hello. I hear you and see you properly. Hope you also.
Okay. Great. So let me know when I can start. I can start with the presentation.
Yes, you can start right now. You have up to 15 minutes to make your presentation. And after your presentation, we will choose the most interesting question and we will ask you.
Great. Thank you, everyone, and welcome everyone who has joined for this interesting session. My name is Vikash Gola. I'm the head of Campus France Mumbai desk. So I have about 15 minutes to take you over the presentation that we have about Campus France. And the idea is to sort of give you an overview of what Campus France is, how do we promote the programs in our region. Right, so the very first picture that you see over here is, the visit from President Macron during his last presidential visit to France, from France to India. So he was the chief guest at the French embassy in New Delhi, where he was handing out various scholarship awards to students. Right, so the French embassy invests more than 1 million euros every year in Indian students. In terms of scholarships, so that we attract more and more Indian students to choose France as their next higher education destination. Moving on, so what is Campus France? So Campus France is a government agency that operates under the French Ministry of External Affairs, right? So the HQ is obviously in Paris. Now, if you look at the Indian context, we have 13 offices all across India. Right, so I'm based out of the Mumbai office, and if you look at the Indian map, we're spread across all over India, right? So we have offices from New Delhi to Kochi and from Ahmedabad to Kolkata, from the north of India to the south and from east to west. We are 13 different managers who are looking after each of our regions. So I handle the western region, so basically Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. These are the sectors that I look into. And we market and promote French higher education to Indian students, right? So there's a lot of marketing activities that we do as well. So for instance, we do quite a lot of outreach activities with higher education institutions where the representatives of Campus France will directly go to the institutions and speak with students directly about higher education opportunities available across all verticals of education, be it management, engineering, science, technology, art schools, etc. We also familiarize the students to use the Campus France website, because the good thing is that in a single website, you get information related to all the programs that are present in the French higher education system. Now, when it comes to agents, right, so speaking of the Indian context, we in fact have quite a few agent workshops as well. So for instance, in fact, I wanted to organize one agent workshop this year as well, but due to the present COVID-19 situation, that had to be postponed as well, right? So for instance, what we are trying to do is we are having our own webinar sessions. So we've actually moved quite a lot of our activities online, where we have different thematic sessions. We are speaking with the representatives of various schools in France. And also every week we have one Q&A session with students that discuss the issues real time, right? So this is what we do in terms of the promotional activities, and also to discuss the present COVID-19 situation, since most of you might have that question, right? So in France, as you know, um, the good thing is that the situation within France is easing out, right? So people have started going back to their workplaces in small numbers. There's also news that within the Schengen region, France would allow interstate travel as well. So those are all positive signs. But speaking from an Indian perspective, we would still need clearer instructions from the ministry, and also we would need to comply with the local authorities over here in India, so that we can give the exact date of when is it that we will be issuing visas for the September 2020 intake. However, having said that, Campus France is very much active. We are processing all the files for the September 2020 intake. We're hopeful, we're positive that the sessions will start online on time. Even if it doesn't, there are various schools that have given the options of either the students can defer the intake, or maybe they can start their online classes, finish one semester in India, and then once the situation eases and once the international travel, the borders open up, students can travel to France and finish the rest of their studies. So we'll have to see how the situation develops, so that we can give clearer instructions as the situation develops further. Now, so when President Macron had come down last year, there was another important agreement between India and France, which was signed. It was called the Mutual Recognition of Academic Qualifications. So what that means is, as an Indian student, if you go and study in France, your degrees are automatically validated in India, right? So you do not have to go through a third-party agent to again get the validation certificate. So it goes both ways. French students coming to India, their degrees are validated by France, and Indian students who go to France, their degrees are automatically validated in India. Moving on, so this particular slide gives you a brief comparison of the Indian and the French education system. So in France, we call it the LMD system, right? Licence, Master, and Doctorat. So the baccalaureate is the 12th standard in India. Licence is your bachelor's degree, which could be anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Master's in France, again, could be anywhere from 1 to 3 years, depending on your course. And Doctorat, your PhD programs could be 3+ years as well. So universities in France, in a nutshell, so we have quite a lot of public universities, right? 74 of them, 220 business and management schools, 224 engineering schools, etc. Now, all these particular programs are listed under one platform on the Campus France website. So the students are encouraged to go and use the relevant filters, so that they can look at the particular program that they're interested in and come back to us for further counseling sessions as well. So student benefits in France, this is another thing. So all international students in France, they have working rights, so they can work 19.5 hours a week. There's something called as a CAF subsidy as well. So you can get up to 30% of your house rent credited back to your French bank account. So for instance, let's say, if your house rent is 600 euros a month and you get 30% subsidy on that. So at the end of every month, 180 euros will be credited back to your French bank account. So we can discuss this later at a much lengthier scale. So just to keep it short, this is a very nice subsidy which is open to all the international students. Now, France, as you know, the tuition fees is quite subsidized. So even if you look at the private schools, comparing it to other countries, the fees is quite nominal. So of course, the fees mentioned over here is in INR. So compared to other countries, since the Chamber of Commerce in France also, as they invest a lot of money in the education system, the tuition fees is subsidized. And as I mentioned, the French embassy in India is also looking to send the best talent to study in France, and hence they're also investing more than 1 million euros every year. And we give out around 500 scholarships to Indian students to study in France. right? And as I told you, there's quite a lot of scholarships available for the students. So the most famous one is the Charpak Scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship where the students have to basically write a motivation letter, upload all their academic credentials, and then once you submit your profile to the scholarships department, they verify your details and get back to you if you have been selected for the scholarship or not. So for this year, first week of July is when the scholarship results are expected to be declared for the Charpak Scholarship. And there's various institutional scholarships also. So that means you can get a tuition fee rebate. So for students, they need to check with the institutions at the start of the applications to see if they have any institutional scholarships available. Right. And also speaking about the job opportunities in India, there's more than 500 French companies, actually more than 1,000 French companies in India. So right from Capgemini, Renault, Decathlon, etc., they all have their headquarters and regional offices in India as well. So quite a lot of Indian students who study in France come back to India, end up working for various French companies as well. Right. So another important thing, so unlike other countries, France actually has a post-study visa. It's called the APS, where students are encouraged to stay back after their studies in France and apply for the APS visa, which legally allows them to stay back in France and look for job opportunities. Correct? And in India, we have this 5-year alumni visa. So if you have a master's degree in France, either if you want to go for a business purpose or a personal purpose, you will have to come back to India and you can apply for the visa. So yeah, that was my presentation for Campus France in a nutshell.